Might want to earn something from selling Chrome extension on Chrome Web Store, or you might want to contribute to your GitHub repository by showing that you know about how to make Chrome extensions, and or you might want to make a Chrome extension for yourself to ease some of your daily life tasks. Okay, so it doesn't matter the purpose, but this video or this tutorial includes everything that you need to know about Chrome extensions. So without wasting much time, let's get started. So we have covered all of these videos in separate, all of this separate chapter in separate videos. So if you have not watched all of those videos, I might give you the link of all of those videos. But just to give you an overview of what we have included till so far about Chrome extensions, these are the contents. So the chapter 1 included the first extension. So how you can create the first extension. So in this video we'll cover all of the basic things that you must need to know about Chrome extension. Then the chapter 2 includes getting ahead with it. So basically in this tutorial we'll deep dive into the concepts. And chapter 3 includes background scripts and alarms. Then followed by chapter 4, which includes how we can store and retrieve the data. So basically that we use to process some, let's say, user activity or some user choices, user preferences, so that we can use it later to recommend some products and get some insights. And the last chapter, which includes how we can use message passing and advanced concepts. So all of this is included in our playlist. So starting with the chapter 1, which includes how we can create our first extension, and we'll skip this overview part. And by making our first extension, we'll get to know about some things. So the outcome of this chapter 1 is to create a hello world extension. So we got to know about manifest.json file. Basically this file stores all of the basic information about the app. Then we have created the extension. Then we have learned that how we can load an extension in our Chrome development environment. So congrats, that's the end of first chapter that we have seen, and the video for this chapter is a link down over here in the I button, so you can click and view if you want to see the detailed description of that video. So next, let me give you an overview about chapter 2, which is getting ahead with it. So we'll skip the overview. The section 1 of the chapter 2, basically that includes learning about async and await. So basically we got to know about promise, and promise is nothing but an object. Okay, so basically that links the producing code and consuming code. And async and await are the two keywords that makes us to like our life easy when we use these promises. So the async keyword basically it can be used to make a function asynchronous. And what does this asynchronous means is that the function might have some code which needs some time to be processed. And await, basically await keyword is used when we need to wait for some values to be retrieved first, and then we need to execute the following lines. So these are the two keywords that makes our life very easy. So then we have seen the examples. So this is a traditional example of how async and await works. Now we have followed the section 1 with the activity 1, where we have seen the example of async and await. Then that was a section 2 where we have seen the getting the basic terms. And what I mean by basic terms is about Chrome extension. So what is the extension, why we use it, etc, etc. Then we have got to know about main components. So basically there are 3 main components: the background script, which runs in the background, not periodically but whenever there are events or triggers. Then we have seen something called content script. So basically content script is used to modify the content of the web page, and there is this popup basically JS or HTML file. So these are the files that gives the look and functionality to this Chrome extension. Then we have seen that how we can read data from the web page. So basically the main task of this chapter was to learn that. Okay. Then we have seen that what are the things that need to be take care, and then we have ended our chapter 2 with the activity 2, where we have did the practical on how we can read the data from the web page. So that's the end of the chapter 2. Chapter 3 was about background scripts and LLMs. So we'll skip the overview. So the section 1 of chapter 3 was all about learning background scripts. So we have given an overview that these are the main components, and we'll learn about background scripts. So the background scripts, so there are two types of background script: persistent and non-persistent. So this was the older supported background script, which is not now supported because it consumes more memory, and the reason for it to consume more memory was like it runs continuously in the background. But now we have something called non-persist background script. So basically, the concept of this type of background script is to run the script only when there are some events or some events that are being triggered. So these scripts basically this runs only when it's needed. So these are the two types of background script that we have seen. So if there is no persistent background script, okay, so how will run background tasks? So this is the, what I can say, the alarms that are being supported to run background script. Then there are something called event and triggers that also triggers the background script to run. So the section 2 of chapter 3 was all about alarms. So we have learned that how we can use alarms. So this is the basic example or code snippet. And it is followed by the activity where we have seen that how we can use alarms. Also it is followed by activity 2 where we have seen that how we can create an app that will replace all of the images on the web page. So now the video of this chapter also I'll give the link of that video into I button. You can watch and go to detailed description of how we have achieved that. Now we are moving towards the advanced features of basically chapter 4 and 5. So the chapter 4 was all about storing and retrieving data. We'll skip an overview again. The section 1 of the chapter 4 was all about Chrome.storage API. So where we have seen that how we can use that storage API. Basically for that we need to include this permissions, and inside that permission we need to write this storage. So then we have compared the storage with the other types of storages that are available, and we have seen that how many types of storages that are there and how we can use them. So the section 2 of chapter 4 was all about how we can use chrome.storage.sync. So these are the basically code snippets. So basically sync is the only, what you can say, useful or not useful. All of the storage types are useful, but sync is the only one that allows us to sync between devices. So everything that is being stored over here, it can be viewed on other devices. So for that we use this chrome.storage.sync, and .set is used to set the value, and .get is to use to get the value. So these are basically two code snippet that is being used to set and basically store and retrieve the data. So that is being followed by this activity 1 where we have seen that how we can create a to-do list extension. So the video of this chapter 4, I'll link down the video of that into the I button, so you may go and watch if you want a detailed explanation of how we have did this. Now the last chapter was all about message passing in different components. So we have seen all of those components. We'll skip an overview again. So the section 1 was all about extension lifecycle. So again we have memorized that how many components are there, so that we have seen in the earlier chapters also. So now we have to achieve message passing or the communication between all of these components. And what are the components? So again, the first is the our Chrome extension, that is a separate component. The second is the background scripts. So basically that is completely separate from this Chrome extension and web page. And the third component is web page. So we need to have some kind of communication. So how they'll talk is, so we have seen simple answer through message passing, and this is the official screenshot from the website of Google. Now section 2 all about Chrome runtime. So we have learned about Chrome runtime, the how we can use runtime to send messages between the components, and when we want to retrieve that message we use one message. So these are the two code snippet which is basically needed. And then we have seen an activity where we have learned and these things by making an extension. So that's it for this video. I'll also link down chapter 5 detailed video that we have made earlier, so you can go and watch by clicking on this I button. And thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you have got all the things that you need to getting started with the Chrome extension. Hope to see you in the next video. Keep learning and keep exploring.